Hi everyone, it's Max here, and welcome back to the second half of the Sourcing Products Part 3 for the Amazon FBA Reselling for Beginners Crash Course series. So today is going to be the continuation of the last video that we created, and then I'll just walk everything through. But instead of like last video where I basically do almost like a live sourcing and then speed ram through the video, I do want to mention again that this video is for educational purposes only, and let's begin. So this is where we left off in the last video because it was already late and I got a bit tired. We found this product while just scraping through different storefronts from other competitors and stuff. And so why I like this product, and personally speaking, this does not meet my criteria that I gave you guys in the last video because it's only making about 20% ROI and then 16% profit margins. But why I particularly like this product, and I will personally buy it for myself, is because the average sales rank is really good. At this sales rank, it will sell like a hotcake. And we also see that the buy box price is rather consistent, and this seller is selling a little bit higher than the buy box. So if we're going to compete at a slightly lower price, we'll probably be profiting around like $3-ish to close to $4. And something to look for is obviously, I can't remember if you're gated in like pet supplies. Don't quote me on that because it's been like so long ago. But anyways, you want to check if this is considered a dangerous good or not. And like I said in the last video, that every sourcing software will look slightly different from another. BuyBot Pro would set like, it would highlight in red that and it said like dangerous good or something like that. For this software, AC Site, it would just tell you in green or red up above here. I don't know what my cat is doing in the back, but yeah. And yeah, this product is quite a little bit on a heavy end, but given that it sells really well, and I'll show you the Keepa chart in a little bit, I think it's worth it. And as you can see here, you can find this product at Walmart, which looks slightly different than the images on Amazon, but if you compare them back and forth, they're actually exactly the same product. And I've been curious of that in the past as well when I first started, whether you can actually sell it or not, and it's perfectly fine to do so. Just make sure that obviously the title, the description is the same, the quantity is exactly the same, and you know, like even though it looks slightly different because maybe I don't know, like the manufacturer updated the images and then the image on Amazon is outdated, but it's perfectly fine. And let's go over looking at the Keepa chart here. So like I said, I do like this product because over time we do a very consistent like sales price of like around 25 upwards of like close to $27 around here. And we also see the average rank being very consistent here. Like you're not seeing something that spike up like really high, meaning that it stopped selling and then all of a sudden it started selling again. And this darker blue ones are like, if you're using the standard Keepa chart, they actually keep them separately, but because of this software I'm using, they combine it together into one. So this dark blue lines simply means the amount of like new offers. So typically it's the FBA combined with FBM, I think, or maybe only FBA, I can't remember. But you see that the sellers have been also fairly consistent in and out, because if you all of a sudden see in a listing where the sellers suddenly all disappear, that's a really huge red flag, meaning that maybe there's an IP claim on this particular listing or the product or whatever. Like there's gotta be a reason why people stop selling a product like this. And we see here that everything seems to be rather consistent, which is really good, because you know that the product has an established selling history as well as probably going forward. And I'm just gonna go back to the last slide real quick to how I determine how many units to buy. So we see here that there are 13 FBA offers, and obviously this is a screenshot, but if I click into it, I can't remember. There's like 2 sellers or 3 that are selling way higher price, around like $30 above. So it's unlikely that they'll get the buy box, whereas everyone else below, let's just say 10 offers, would be getting the buy box at like, let's say $25 to $27. And how I determine to buy is like, see that the sales rank according to this software estimated around 1,000 to let's just say 1,600, and it's saying that the estimate sale is around 300. So you just work out a math of how many sellers are on the listing. So let's just say if there was let's say it was 9, and then you're going to be the 10th seller at around 300 units per month, then you'll just be buying around 30. And of course, I wouldn't buy 30 units of this, because for whatever reason, maybe the price would tank. Who knows? I would basically just buy maybe like even just 4 to 6, just to test the market out. And if it sells well, we can restock them immediately after, because you can find these at Walmart. And I'm sure wherever you live, this product is probably easy enough to find. So that's how I basically determine how many units to buy, which was something that was confusing in the past as well, because I always just like buy like 1 to 2 units, because I'm like constantly worried that I'll make a bad purchase, which is totally understandable when you're starting out, but that's basically my thought process. Now this next product here was also, I actually skipped through this doing the speed ramp in the video, because you actually gated from selling this product as a beginner. But if you're not a beginner and you have already ungated the health category, then you're welcome to join the listings. And again, like I'm just showing you these 2 products, but if you want to hop onto the listing, because I'm probably gonna sell this myself as well, just be sure to keep the price consistent and don't try to compete in a price war with each other, because we're just making everyone else worse off in this case. But if we keep the price the same, we can all live happily ever after, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, so you're not allowed to sell this category, but personally, my best categories, like I think I mentioned in the previous video as well, is grocery, beauty, and health. And recently has been toys as well. These are the categories that I actually make the most buck like in this business, because normally I can buy them again and again, whereas other products are more like a one-off, or sometimes, like you get on clearance or whatever. So these, like, because people are going to constantly need these products again and again. I have no idea what this is, to be honest. I just found it, and like I saw the ranking was good. So we see here that the buy cost and I should mention one more thing actually. Like some of my most profitable listings tends to be actually the multi-pack and bundles, because typically there's less sellers competing in those, and because the software that like tactical arbitrage doesn't really scrape those multi-pack or bundles well, because sometimes they have to put the UPC barcode, like it got cut off here, and then because it's a bundle or multi-pack, sometimes they don't use the manufacturer UPC barcode, so therefore software can pick those up. Whereas if you're manually sourcing, like how I'm doing, like reverse sourcing, I can reach those products and I can basically sell them. See, here we see that these 2 products are actually only costing like $10, like to buy a pack of 2, and then you make a bundle, put in the poly bag yourself, and ship it off. So you see that like here the sales rank it varies a little bit more here, because it's going from like 20,000 all the way to 40,000, and we have to look further to why that might be the case. But still, you're like there's also like estimated sales of like at least like 10 units a month. So I think that's pretty decent enough, and the profits are really, really good here. I would say like at 40% ROI, I would definitely take this at 30% profit margin. And yeah, same thing, you want to look for whether there's see, this is gray out, but basically this is for the IP complaints. If the product has been an issue by other sellers, they will report it in this history here, but seems like this is none, and also it's not dangerous good, and you're allowed to sell this. If you're not allowed to sell this, sometimes it grays out or it turns into red, just to give you a red flag that you're not allowed to sell this. And obviously if you're gated, you're not allowed to sell it. But you can also watch my other video about finding the wholesaler to get ungated fairly easily, and you don't have to pay anybody. Like, this is so stupid why people charge you like upwards of like $200 or something just to get ungated. Yeah, so we can see here that I think what's happening here, because based on, I'm just looking at very briefly here, but basically the buy box, according to the buy box, between this time period in October, I think maybe it was sold out possibly, and then the price started to rise, or maybe it wasn't in demand or whatever. But we see that the buy box have been more and more consistent over the past 2 months from now. 2 months since like November, and then the sales rank starts average sales rank start to drop again, and the seller has been fairly consistent as well. And of course, I'm in Canada, so you probably noticed why the new offers or FBA offers are very low. Because if you're selling in the States or UK, you might have like over like 30 to 40 different sellers. So here it's a little, it's like, the Great White North is like calm, and like there's less seller to compete, but also there's less buyers as well. So it depends on where you're selling, because I'm actually living here, so it's more convenient for me to sell here. And let's move on to the next part. So basically, what you wanted to do is, like how I showed you in the last video, is to search for some of the products that are commonly found in the retail stores. And if you think they are somewhat profitable, go into the FBA offers, like how I click into like here, like 3 offers and stuff, or like the previous one has like 13. So click into those and then look at different sellers. So you want to look for ones that have a little bit more established, but not like crazy, having like over 1,000, 2,000 ratings. So like at around 200, 500 would be a good range, because at least they are pretty well established and they're likely to sell some of the good products that are profitable in some ways. And it really depends on where they find the suppliers and everything as well. We're getting half the equations from looking at the products first, and then the other half is obviously you have to go and search for stores like Walmart or something, wherever you get stuff that's closest to you from. Yeah, so basically click into the sellers and look at the products they're selling, and you're basically going to get the storefront. So typically, like I said in the last video as well, that the first few pages of the storefronts are the most profitable products that they are selling, most likely, in terms of the how fast it sells and stuff like that. It's not always consistent, but first few pages are typically what I've seen. And then you just wanted to go through basically their storefront and look at whatever products they're selling. And then if you look, it takes a lot of time. And if you find something that you think is profitable, just try to look for some, like, do a deal analysis, and then try to look for the supplier or whatever, wherever you can get this, let's just say this fabric softener from. And another thing is, if you're doing FBA, if you're selling a product that are like, let's just say $14 here, it could still be profitable, but it tends to be that if it's below like even $11, $12, unless your product is really cheap, you're not going to find as much profit, because for the FBA program, there's like a flat fee of like, I can't remember like how much it starts, and then it starts to scale up as your product gets more expensive, or if the product weight is higher and stuff like that. But typically, if you're selling a little bit higher like price products, then you're going to make more profit, assuming that your purchase price is also lower. Now, I want to give you an example of like what you consider like a one-time versus like replen or replenishable products. Because, okay, so when I first started this whole business, I went into the like Winners or TJ Maxx in the States, and I found this product here that I managed to buy like a couple of them. I think about like 10 to 12 of them for like $15. And you'll be amazed at this thing, man. Like it's sold for like $74 for like a good 2 to 3 months, and it was sold out. Like I never even opened the package. I have no idea what it is. Like it's probably like cocktail drinking stuff related, but it was insane because the ROI, like I can't do the math on top of my head, because just use a calculator, but like buying for $15 and then selling for 74, like I'm profiting like crazy. But the only problem is after that, I could never find this product ever again. Like it was never sold in Winners ever again. Even this year, I have never seen it. So like that's the problem sometimes doing OA or RA, is that there might be a limited supply, or sometimes on clearance that you might be able to get really good deals and it runs out. On the other hand, if you're doing something more like a repent, which tends to be within the grocery and the beauty category. So it tends to be the beauty and grocery categories, because people tend to buy something like, I'm not like, I actually sell a lot of coffee myself, and I'm just using Starbucks as an example here, but I don't think Starbucks is actually profitable to sell on Amazon. I'm just letting you know. You might be able to find some profits. I don't really know. I never saw any Starbucks product. ever. And I think I'm also gated to selling Starbucks, but I've been selling other coffee products that I bought from like winners. I'm not gonna disclose exactly which one, but you can find out from there as well. But yeah, like these are the things that people, who are addicted to coffee will keep buying again and again. Like there's even feedbacks I got that they would want to buy more because it's really hard to find. So think of something like that. Think of household cleaning products, perhaps like something that like fabric softener people will buy again, like dishwasher tablets or something like that. Now, obviously, it's very hard to scale if you are just buying a few quantities of clearance product and then once it runs out, it runs out. So the way to basically shift into a little bit more sustainable, or maybe a lot more sustainable business, is to shift from doing our retail arbitrage and online arbitrage into wholesaling, like, and working with wholesale distributors. Now I've heard that a lot of successful Amazon sellers actually work with the brand directly and skip the distributors, so they become the exclusive reseller or retailer of the brand itself on the online. Now I haven't done that myself, so I can't really speak on that because I'm still basically I prefer the way I'm selling right now, and I'll probably I tend to sell a lot of products wide rather than deep, so that I'm minimizing the risk of in case something goes wrong with a single product. And eventually, if I find a really good product, I will definitely reach out to the brand and then try to scale up. But for now, I'm using mostly wholesale distributors where they have many different brands, and sometimes you're able to get discount. But there's also different issues, like if too many sellers hop onto the listing from like using the same wholesale price list and stuff like that. But this is probably one of the best way to basically shift away from finding like a couple products into like massive scale, like being able to order in bulk quantity. So in the next part of this series, I'm going to be going over basically creating the listing on the Amazon, and then basically going over the prepping aspect, because it can get quite confusing and overwhelming into basically what Amazon is looking for when you are prepping and shipping the the boxes to the Amazon warehouse, the fulfillment center. So I'm going to be going over that, as well as the like other preppings like polybagging requirements and all those stuff, like, and then using the tools that I mentioned earlier in my like part 2 of the video to basically do all these stuff. And anyways, I hope you gain some value into the sourcing, and if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section, and maybe I'll make future videos to clarify on those things. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy your day.